we have Canadian royalty in the room.
Yes, we do.
Victor Garber's
Wow.
here. Is that a lot?
Yes,
Is that too
Victor.
much? Am I
Well, it's
going
a little, I'd say over the top.
It's a little over the top?
I would
but I'm here and I'm taking it.
Victor Garber,
Hi.
welcome to CHUM.
It's so nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while because last time we talked was probably was pre-pandemic. It was on the TV side of things, and now you are here. We got lots to talk about, but you're here because you're getting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
I am, and it's so overwhelming. And at first I thought, is it over? Does that mean my life is over? They say,
Yeah.
basically. The Forest City Film Festival
Yes.
is going into its 9th year. It's London, Ontario. It's where I was born, and there is a film festival, and they're honoring me for my lifetime achievement. I thought, what exactly have I achieved? I guess just living this long is part of it, and then going back to London, where my family is, a lot of my family and old friends who I haven't seen. And it's all going to happen at the end of the month. And please come. Please come. It's going to be a great they're screening, I think, 3 of my films.
Which ones?
Titanic.
Love.
Legally Blonde.
Love.
Godspell.
Love. First time I ever saw you on screen was Godspell.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was one of the first movies. I was in the Toronto production at the Royal Alexandra, and then got cast in the movie and had to leave my cast, which I was very sad about. And I went to do the movie in New York, and it's been quite a role.
Quite a role. So this is a film festival, and those are the 3
Those
films.
are the 3, yeah.
That's
and
so
there
great.
are other movies I've obviously been in, but those are, I think, certainly 3 of the most popular.
Let's go back and before Godspell and before that, you were a child actor, though, right? Weren't you? Didn't you want to do that as a kid?
I grew up. And my mother had a television show in London, Ontario, At Home with Hope Garber. And ironically, she wasn't a very good homemaker, but she was very charismatic, and she was very pretty, and she was she was very good at her job, and it was kind of it was, I think Mary Ashwell was before her. These names are just coming into my head now. I don't quite understand, but and then my mother became a celebrity in London, Ontario, and so she got me into the children's theater program at the Grand Theater. Peter Deering and his wife Robin were the new artistic director and his wife, and I just as soon as I got there, I knew this is where I belonged, and I knew this is what I wanted to do, and so in a way, I was very lucky at that age to even have an inkling, because so many of my friends as I grew up said, "How do you know what you want to do?"
Yeah.
I just it's just in me. It's just in me.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there you are, London, Ontario, and then you go over to Toronto.
Yes.
And then the Godspell scenario happened, which
Yes.
opened up more opportunities for you, but still with stage, still doing stage movies, television.
Was, I mean, the stage was always my goal, but then music I took sort of took over because there was the Sugar Shop, and that was a huge thing in Canada for me. And we were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and Peter Mann, who passed away a while ago, and with Laurie Hood and Lee Harris, and we had this very successful singing group, and we recorded an album on Capitol Records.
Was it folk?
No, it was kind of a Fifth Dimension.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to look that up.
And I mean, the Ed Sullivan Show, we sang a Laura Nyro song, "Save the Country."
Save the country.
That's the
save
one.
the children.
That's the one.
The Fifth Dimension did that. Yeah.
Yes, and they stole our arrangement. I'm just going to say it.
Okay,
I'll probably be sued for this.
Marilyn
but,
McCoo, we're after you.
but they did a great job, but
Yes.
we did it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So of all the things that you've done, I mean, I know Lifetime Achievement there's more coming for sure.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I mean, why not? You're so legendary. The favorite movies, favorite things. I know that the script is the most important thing to you. When you look at
Absolutely.
it. There's
Yes.
the money is there too. But
That's the second most important.
Yeah, right. But script is really important to you. Do you know right away when you're going to take a role? Do you
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Growing up in the theater, and I'm a high school dropout, so I'm completely uneducated. I left school when I was home when I was 16. So everything I learned was from reading plays, and because I wasn't a big reader, I had no sense of history because I was never educated. But I learned so much from the theater. And writing became, I knew what good writing was. I knew the difference.
Yeah.
And, when you read a Tom Stoppard play, or a Neil Simon play. They're in their way. They're both geniuses, and so I was, and that was my first. My first thing was the Neil Simon, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
So I knew what good writing was, and that was really important to me.
Do you like playing a good guy or a bad guy? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Me?
What's the most fun?
I like complicated people, weird people. I mean, it's more fun to play some. Well, listen, everybody's complicated, but and that's the thing about acting is you have to make it interesting.
Yes.
But you can't make it interesting. It has to just come from an organic place. So it's acting is I think something I'm still trying to get better at.
Oh wow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Tell me about Jennifer Garner. Is she as nice as she seems?
I couldn't speak enough about Jennifer.
I love her.
Jennifer Garner is an angel, and she's been we're still very close friends. We don't see each other enough because she's in L.A. and I haven't been to L.A. for a while. And we bonded in a very significant way, and we remain very close. And I have nothing but love and admiration.
Weren't you involved in her wedding? Didn't you?
Yes, we actually, my partner and I, Reiner Andreessen, a Canadian from Prince Rupert, by the way, and a brilliant artist, if you want to look him up on Instagram,
Yes,
because he's a brilliant portrait artist as well as landscapes. We went to Turks and Caicos, and it was just the four of us.
Yeah, Ben and Jen,
yes, and then we saw this way out in the distance. There was a boat. And of course, it was the paparazzi, and it got in the newspaper.
No, that was actually me.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I was on that
well,
boat.
thank you, because we really
I got some
needed
great
that.
pictures.
Oh,
yeah, Victor,
man.
I got some great pictures.
David's only been with me for 3 weeks. I'm learning a lot about him, Victor.
Well,
Yes. So basically, a felon.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
thank
right.
you.
But that's what radio people are all about, right? Yeah. It's interesting when I look at all the things you do, Alias being one of them, and then the stage and movies. Is there a favorite movie that you've done that you loved and that the film was great, the people were great? Because you kind of create a family when you do a film, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And more so even in the theater. But I have had so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And they all have their pluses and minuses. Working in film is really difficult. People don't understand how difficult it is.
Why is it so difficult?
Because the hours are sometimes brutal, and if the budget isn't, you're working, like 15, 16 hours. It's true on television too. I've done both of them. But I would say for me, I think one of the best movies I was in was Argo.
Yes.
And that was Ben's that was when he won his first Academy Award. And it was that was a flawless experience. I stayed at a friend's house near where we were shooting because there was no money, but I was a part of that was an incredible team of people, and I loved that experience, and I thought the movie was great.
When you get stopped on the streets, Victor Garber, what do they say to you besides, "Hey, get out of my way"?
Sometimes, sometimes it is, "I know you," and I say, "Well, you probably don't know me, but I'm an actor." And they say, "Well, what were you in?" And I say, "You know what? I just can't list it right now. But I'm happy to meet you. I'm Victor Garber. You can Google me." I can't. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Well, and then I say, because then you start listing. They say, "Didn't see that. No, didn't. Yeah, I didn't care for that."
Yeah,
I've had that.
The list is long. You've had that.
And when people say, "Yeah, I didn't really like that."
But you have such a recognizable face.
You do.
Because you've been in so many things. So even if someone can't pinpoint exactly where they saw you, they just know your face. Like it's a very well-known face.
That's become very apparent in the last few years more than ever. I'm not stalked. I hope I'm not being stalked. But people do want my photo a lot. Now.
Yeah.
More than
Which
I can't. It just shifted. I don't know when.
Yeah. Well, we're going to ask for your photo after this interview.
I won't do it.
You won't do it.
Well, not
Man,
cash.
he's difficult. Victor Garber, difficult Canadian
That's
actor.
why I had to get on a boat and be hundreds of yards away, take a picture.
It was such a pleasure seeing you. I know you have to go
so
upstairs
great
to
to
visit
see
our
you.
friend John Moore, and we love him upstairs too. But I just want to say that you and I haven't seen each other since before the pandemic, and I know that so much has been going on in your world, and I'm so glad you had time to stop by and talk to us. Congratulations on a
I wouldn't
lifetime.
have missed it. I wouldn't have missed it.
Thank you.
So
Lifetime
nice.
Achievement
Victor.
Award. When is this happening again?
It is
End of
October,
October.
the last weekend in October
Right.
in London, Ontario, and it's
Beautiful.
fcff.ca.
Friend of the show, thank you for dropping
Thank you
by.
so
Great to meet you.
Mwah.
Great
Love
to see
you.
you. Thank you.